I get excited, but I'm also get very anxious when I do stream, just so everyone knows. So I have to like listen to music before I do streams because I get extreme anxiety. I don't know why, but I just do. Probably because of the fear of the unknown. And I don't like not knowing what's gonna happen. But normally in these streams, it's really good, so I don't think I have to really worry about that. At least not now, unless this channel gets way too big and like some weird like trolls come on here. Hopefully not, but yeah. And yeah, I chose this topic because I was thinking about how a lot of I kept seeing a lot of comments about uh how the disability community like I feel like they don't really get a voice that they deserve to have. So oh hi to whoever who came in here. And this topic is gonna be called well the topic is the disability community should be allowed to have a voice that they can use without judgment. I think that's very important. I don't think a lot of us get to have that. And and I know I didn't say this at the beginning because which I normally do. Hello, everybody, and welcome to my channel. I'm Raya. Um, and of course, the topic is on the disability community. Um, should be allowed to have a voice that they should be able to use without judgment. Um, First, I want to say that the disability community is made up of human beings, and we should be treated as such. And I shouldn't have to say that because that should be clear, but some people in society, I don't think they understand that concept, but okay. That's just my 2 cents thing about it. Second, I want to say that each person in the disability community has a voice and they should be allowed to use that voice freely. Um, and I don't, sometimes I feel like a lot of us are silenced, but that's bull, and I think that's bull, but okay. That's just another Mariah point. And then also a person voice is important no matter how in what form they use it or it takes. Like for example, if you have sign language, there's different forms like people that use devices, people that actually use their voice, people that are nonverbal and they can communicate through like different like I know one kid that I worked with when I was working in the school system. She couldn't speak, but we used like papers and stuff. Like we wrote out stuff and like she could choose and point to whatever she needed. So we used that way. Like my point is like every voice matters regardless of your disability or not, but let's be honest, first this is about focusing on the disability community because it's not really I feel like it's forgotten, kind of unseen, but that's just what I think. I don't really know if anyone else agrees with that. But people in the disability community, using our voices is important because we need to use it to be advocates for ourselves and others because sometimes other people can't use their voice and sometimes they rely on us even though we shouldn't try to put our words in their mouth. We should just if like someone is trying to tell you something, you should if they are telling you something, I think you can speak for them if they want you to, and I think that's clear, important to know. Consent is important here, because that I don't want the person to feel like I don't want anyone ever feel like that you're trying. I don't think anyone would do this personally, but I don't want anyone to think that you could just do something without anyone's consent. Consent is always important. Um, and regardless if the person can verbally speak or not on what they want to say. Our voices help us communicate our accommodations and our needs. Uh, let's see. Um, which I don't think are always heard because I feel like sometimes society unfortunately drowns them out. And that was not even in my notes, the part about society drowning them out, but I feel like that is a very common case. Or we're also a lot of us are told that 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 we don't really well some of us have been told that we don't really our voices don't really matter because a lot of society views it as if we don't say anything or we don't like actually speak up then it's not really an issue, which is bullcrap by the way, but that's just a Mariah thing. I don't know. What was I gonna say? Our voices help us fight for what we deserve and what we always should deserve, but that's just a Mariah point. And I know so a lot of people probably agree with me on certain things I say. Not everything I say is gonna make everyone happy, but uh, yeah. I just think our voices show us that we are strong and powerful by when we use them because our voice honestly I feel like our voices are like um sirens or like I don't know I feel like they're just very powerful. I always thought that, but I don't know if everyone knows that. I feel like when you use your voice, it's actually the most powerful thing that you have, honestly. Because it shows that you're not just gonna stand for anything. At least that's what I think. um, what was I gonna say? Oh, yes. Um, I also want people to know, please don't ever be afraid to use your voice. And know that your voice is valuable because and I think a lot of us sometimes forget that our voices are valuable because of all the stuff society has thrown at us and all the people like all the negativity that people shown us and the way we've been treated, which is I just think I you probably I don't think any of you know I'm not sure if all of you know this. I have been bullied or different things but I think that's probably another reason why I like to fight for other people, because I didn't fight for myself at one point, so now I fight for people that can't fight for themselves, plus myself now. But I think that might be another reason why I'm so passionate when it comes to the disability community, because I feel like there's a lot of fighters out here, but I don't, some of the times, I don't think they have the right encouragement. The encouragement that they deserve to have. I feel like a lot of us kind of get trampled on, maybe not always physically, but emotionally before we even understand our voice, and that is powerful. Um, that we just kind of go with what we unfortunately we go from the negative side instead of the positive side, which is very unfortunate because I think a lot of us have a lot more in us than we actually know. And that's also not even on my notes, but I kind of thought to say it. But I just wanted to say that just in case anyone ever feels like that they don't their voice doesn't mean anything, which it really, really does. What's that next point? Oh, yes. Your voice deserves to be heard and not silenced. And I think that's a really, really good point because, like I said, society tries to trample us down and it's like ridiculous. Yeah, and I agree. I think we definitely need spaces that are safe for us. Even though I know you didn't say that, but I definitely think if we had more spaces for us that are safe, especially disability community, I feel like we don't have that many safe spaces where we could be ourselves. And because I feel like a lot of the time, people in society and society itself, tries to trample us down and not let us be able to speak freely. So when we feel like we can, it like kind of comes out as a um thunderous kind of kind of thunderous roar because we already were silent for so long. And I'm sorry if I'm not interacting with the chat. I am trying to, um, but sometimes when I get really, really passionate, my brain kind of hyper focuses. A lot of people that are autistic know this. My brain will hyper focus on what I'm trying to say, even though that's not what I'm trying to do. And I love you guys. Just so you know, um, seeing your comments make me smile, like reading them. Because I don't know, I sometimes get discouraged. I often get discouraged because this is my heart. Like literally helping the disability community, the one I'm a part of, is literally my heart and I don't really know how to divorce myself from it. I know it's like I can't really separate myself from it. I don't know how to because I've always loved it. Like I've always loved helping our community since I was a child. So it's hard for me when it's hard to not put my whole heart into it. So like I don't know. I just kind of just inspires me when I read like people like understanding what I'm saying and agreeing and um doing like but I just want you to know how much it means to me everyone in here because I never thought I could do this honestly. This is not my forte, but I love helping people, so this is the reason why I push myself outside of my comfort zone to do this stuff. It's really out of my comfort zone because I'm not a person that likes to be like the center of attention and or put the focus on me. even though I'm not technically putting the focus on me, I'm putting it more on the subject that I'm doing, you know? Sorry, that was a side note. I'm bad. I just kind of went off on tangent. Sorry, guys. Um, but what was I gonna say? Oh yes, I also think there should be freedom in using our voices. And we should be able to voice the concerns we have. Sorry, about anything in society that needs to be addressed without judgment, and that is presented towards us. And I feel like a lot of the time, that a lot of the stuff we do and say gets a lot of judgment, even though we're just being ourselves. And I think that's like the most, to me, that's the most crapped up thing, because like a lot of the society, or at least the mainstream, I feel like they try to silence us, but yet they can say whatever they want to say, and like they don't really get silenced, but because we want to say it and because we're different than them, that we get silenced, or like kind of looked down on, or what's the word, trampled, like kind of like our voices don't matter. So then sometimes it makes us shrink back into thinking that what we say doesn't mean much of anything. So that's probably another reason. Unfortunately, some of us are silenced, which I think is crap, by the way. But what do you guys think? Do you think society makes us like more trampled, or do you think it's negative experiences, or do you think like uh something completely different? I'm curious. I don't know. That's just a lot of my thoughts are Mariah thoughts. I don't know. I don't ever know if people agree. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. Like a lot of the stuff that I wrote were just came from my brain. Honestly, I didn't think I had a lot to say on this topic, but I had more than what I thought to say. Um, what else? Anything else? I'm trying to think if there's anything else. When it comes to, there's probably a lot to say when it comes to the disability community. This honestly, I finished my notes, but I probably have more in my brain than I thought when I wrote this down. I agree that social pressures and trauma cause us to be trampled, which is unfair. And like, in my opinion, I just think sometimes society should be kinder to people that are different. I mean, I don't mean coddle them, of course. I don't mean coddle us. I just mean like I feel like sometimes you should come a little bit softer at us. Not I don't mean like baby us. That's not what I mean. I mean like stop coming so harsh. Like aren't isn't everyone in society different? At least I think there are. They're not. No, I don't think sorry. Everyone is all alike. Like everyone has differences. So we don't disrespect you for differences, do we? Well, at least if we do, we shouldn't. I shouldn't. That sounded weird. I meant we shouldn't disrespect people from disabilities, or disabilities or differences, because like that's like I don't even know what to say about that, because I shouldn't even have to say that, because um it should just be a common sense thing, but I guess it's not. And it's really sad to say that it's not a common thing. I just wish that I don't know. I just feel like I wish we were treated more like human beings. And I think it's fair that I hate that I have to say that statement, because I shouldn't have to say that, because every single person on this earth is a human being. Of course, besides the animals, you know what I mean. I mean, like all of us um just should have to be like, I just feel like we should be treated with value. I don't think that's too much to ask for. I'm pretty sure most of you probably agree with that. Like, why should we have to beg to get actual rights? Like, why should there had to even been a clause where, I'm sorry, like, why should there be an act just for disability people? I know why we need it, but why should there be an act? You should just treat it like us, like human beings from the beginning. I understand why there are, like, why this had to happen. But I wish it didn't have to. I wish we were treated like everyone else and given our accommodation and not had to fight for them, which made them have to write an act into actual law in the 90s to get our rights, which is unfair. Because and I'm sure before that people had to, like in the disability community before I was born, there a lot of people were born here, had to fight so hard to get that act improved, which is like, I mean, I don't even know what to say to that. Like, what am I supposed to say? Like, that is so sad. Like, and I agree. I'm grateful for the people that fought for it, but they should, to me, in my opinion, they shouldn't have had to fight so hard because it should have already. This should have just been a thing that should have happened from day one. But what do I know? I'm just speaking from my brain, like most of us do. And like I don't know. I think also maybe I agree. Social pressures, peer pressure. Um, what was the other one? Trauma, probably negative experience. All four of those and probably more make people probably shrink back and not use their voice because of all that stuff that they've experienced. Yeah, I believe you. I believe that. I think that people do put their own comfort before the humanity of it. I completely agree with that, and I feel like that's a lot more common than unfortunately nowadays, and probably mostly before social media times, because I'm sure this happened before social media time. We just didn't know about it as much because it wasn't readily accessible. Um, I just think that um, I don't know. I just think that we should be treated as humans, and I think that we should just know that regardless of what society says, that our voices mean more than what society tries to limit us to be. Plus, I think that where voices definitely deserve to be heard because there's no one. I mean, I can say something something one way, and you can convey it differently to someone else that may understand it better. Like we have all have different that uniqueness to our voices. Plus, I feel like we also have different powers to our voices. I don't know if that makes sense. And I mean, like when I say different power, I mean we have maybe different strengths to our voice. And I mean when I say that, I mean like we all have something qualities to our voice that other people don't have. And I don't mean it as in volume or tone or whatever, but certain things that we can convey, our voice can convey that other people may not be able to in a particular way. Hopefully that makes sense because I kind of just it just kind of came to my brain when I was just my brain because it was a kind of an impulsive thought. Hopefully that makes sense. Sorry if it literally doesn't. I'm so sorry. But what was I gonna say? Oh yes, I just think that the disability community should definitely just keep doing what it's doing and keep fighting, even though I don't think we should have to fight as hard as we are. But I don't think we should have to fight as hard as we do, but continue to fight and don't let anyone stop you from fighting the battle that you think you need to fight or you think that others need you to fight to get the rights that they need to. Honestly, even though I'm not actually a disability advocate like the certification. That is what I actually am. Same with mental health. I may not be certified in that, but I also am an adult advocate. I like helping people genuinely because I am part of the disability community. Plus, I love them, and I have mental health issues. Plus, I love helping people that are going through it because I've been there, and I still go through these daily. So I just want people to know I'm here, even if I may not be a big part of someone's life. I still care. And I think that's one thing I think a lot of us in the disability community show that we actually genuinely care. Even though some of us may not go about it the right way at times, but I think sometimes um, we have the right heart, but sometimes maybe not the right tone. But honestly, I don't really understand tone, so I kind of probably am with some people sometimes. I'm probably more likely to sometimes do things before I think because I'm impulsive, plus other stuff. But I tend to have the right heart behind it, even though maybe the delivery's not the best. I'm pretty sure a lot of people can agree with that. Sometimes they can be very blunt, but their delivery is not the best, but they had the right heart behind it. And I think for disability community, if they have the right heart behind it, even if the delivery is not perfect, and I don't think anyone's perfect with delivery, any kind of person, I think that some people will see it as like, okay, I can actually come behind this person. Like for example, say it's someone that's struggling through something. uh, what was I gonna say, struggling with something that they don't think that actually has any kind of value, and they hear you speak about it and they view it a wrong, different way. They understand, oh, okay, I have someone on my side, like I can talk to this person, you know? And I feel like if you know that you have some people that matter or people that actually have your best interests at heart, maybe you'll go to those people and like open and willing to share, even if you think your voice doesn't matter. Sometimes people have the same idea that you have. You just sometimes shy or a little bit scared or timid to talk, express it because of the, like all the stuff you've been through, which is understandable because I have my moments where I'm terrified to do things because of the stuff I've been through, and I'm sure a lot of people have that. But sometimes when someone speaks for you or says whatever they want to say and they speak from their heart, and then you realize, oh, you can relate, then you can speak and you feel okay because you're like, oh, I got someone that understands what I've been through, and that's literally what I want this space to be. I want people to understand. I know what they're going through. I may not be perfect, let's be honest. I'm far from that. But I want that everybody in the disability community, regardless of what your disability is, to feel safe. And that's literally my goal. Like, that's what I want. And I want everyone to be able to have that. Everyone around the world that's part of this disability community. I'm not going to know everybody around the world, but to know that I have an impact on one person, it means so much to me. Like, because I never thought I could impact. I didn't think I had the impact that I had. Like, even to my previous job, I didn't realize I had the impact I had on some of these kids. I did not know. And I found out when I was leaving and everything that I had like a tremendous impact on people. I did not have an idea. And I think that's what everybody needs. Someone that they can lean on and they know that they had their back no matter what. And that's one thing I think sometimes, unfortunately, society probably makes disabled community not feel like they have their, honestly it's kind of probably true. Society doesn't feel, well, I don't always feel like society has our back. That's just how I feel. And I think if this disability community felt more heard by society, that maybe we would trust them more to like speak out our speak out our truths more, a little bit more and more vocally. And on, I'm not saying we're not honest, but I'm saying like without feeling like you're going to be judged. I mean, so like you would say everything and you would feel like great, and then you'd feel then be grateful that it wouldn't be twisted on you. Twisted because a lot of the time, unfortunately, with media, any kind of media, typically if it doesn't have your best interest at heart, they try to skew or try to twist whatever you say, and then it looks bad. And that's one thing that's I think is sometimes a disadvantage to disabled and a lot of people out here. So yeah. I didn't know if anyone had any questions about anything I said or anything they wanted to say. You guys are just awesome. I can't help it. I get happy. It's like literally makes me smile. Yeah, I feel bad that people feel isolated to be able to do that. Hmm. Yeah, see, I totally do that. I try to reach everybody when I'm advocating for the disability community. I do the same thing. Um I engage with disability people that are in the disability community, also people not in the not, I don't know, would it say general public or non-disabled people? I don't know how to say that term. You know what I mean? No, I don't try to discriminate because I feel like a lot of the time they discriminate against us. So why would I want to do the same thing to them? Because in my opinion, it just makes it worse. But like I just talk to people freely when it comes to this disability related stuff because I just genuinely love it. But I know that's not everyone's cup of tea. But I like I just think we don't have the avenue that we deserve to have, and I think that's not fair. Um, and I hope one day we're able to have it. Hopefully in our lifetime that we actually get to see. And I know some people unfortunately died before they could see any of this stuff happen, which is very sad. But I feel like sometimes I feel like no, I totally feel like I feel like we're not done yet. I don't know what's gonna happen next with our community, but I feel like there's a lot more people out here that I feel like there's a lot more people out here that have voices, but they don't realize they can use them, and which makes me sad because I didn't honestly. I was probably one of those people that didn't think I could use my voice and that it would be impactful. So I guess I understand that, but at the same time, I hope eventually, if they're willing, they'll use their voices, and because their voices matter too. Um, I just think it's really cool that people understand like where I'm coming from because throughout most of my life, I didn't feel like a lot of people understood me. Um, so to hear people agreeing and understanding what I say, like, it's kind of insane because, like, I think that I'd ever get to a point where that would be a thing. So I love you guys. I just can't help it. It just makes me smile because I was talking to my dad and I was like telling him how the reason I do the stuff that I do is because I love this community and I love helping and I know that in order to help I have to come out of my comfort zone, which is difficult, but it's not impossible. And I think a lot of people when they come out their comfort zone, things actually sometimes turn out a lot better than they expect. And for me, I feel like this streaming, even though it's not natural for me, even videos is not natural, but for me, but I think because I'm helping people, I'm okay to keep doing it. And honestly, if I feel like if I'm not helpful to people, then I'd probably stop because what would be the point? Because the point of this channel and doing these streams and the videos is to help somebody that may need it. And if I'm not doing that, there would be no point of this channel. It's not for me. It's not just fun and games. I'm trying to help people that need what they need. What they need. I don't know what I honestly. I don't know. I wish I could help more because sometimes I don't feel like I'm doing enough. I know I'm doing the YouTube videos and the streaming, but sometimes I feel like all that is that even enough for people to like I don't know. I just don't feel like it's enough. That might just be a Mariah thing. I don't always feel like a lot of the stuff that I do is enough because I feel like I do more and I'm not. But I'm sure you probably say no, I disagree, but I don't know. It just maybe it's a personal thing. I don't know, but also I feel like that often because I want to help more than I can, but I don't know. It's a general. I don't know if that's an autistic thing, Mariah thing, or something else thing. I don't know. So I view anything outside my window, but a stupid room. Whoever built the house when they built it, they didn't insulate my room really, the windows around my in my room very well, which is very annoying, by the way. But that's another side story for another day. Guys, I love you. Oh yeah, I forgot to tell you what next topic is. Oh yes, the next topic is gonna be a birthday live stream, which is on Wednesday. Wednesday, January 17th at noon at EST. And the topic is sorry, I'm getting distracted because someone is banging outside of my house. Um, topic is on the 32 amazing things about me. Even though that sounds, I don't like how that sounds. It sounds cynical. I don't like being cynical. Oh, and I definitely agree that advocacy is very important. It is definitely planting seeds. I agree with that statement. Thanks for making me smile. And thanks, guys, for commenting and all your chatting. It makes me smile. Like, I know I said that too much, but it does really make me happy because it shows that people actually care about what I'm saying and like actually makes me feel seen. And a lot throughout my whole life, I've never really felt seen. So when I see people like actually commenting and chatting, it makes me feel seen, and I'm sure it makes other people feel seen and valued. And that is literally makes my heart happy. Thanks for watching. I love you guys. Bye. Oh, you're welcome for the stream. I don't mind. I just love doing it. I'm glad. I hope it made you smile. And I hope if you were having a bad day, it made you smile. I like making people smile. It's a new thing, by the way, because I didn't always smile, but I do now. It's great to smile, though. Love you guys. Bye.